What's up guys, in today's video I wanted to share with you 4 things that give me crazy study motivation, because I know that motivation doesn't always come easily, and even though I also say that you shouldn't depend on motivation to actually get working, I'm not gonna lie and say motivation doesn't help. So here are the 4 things that give me crazy study motivation. The first thing might be a bit obvious, but it's motivational videos. Motivational videos basically never seem to fail to motivate me, and that's obviously also what they're for. And I know that they help for a lot of people, but I also know that a lot of people don't even give it a shot, and I think it might be a good thing to try. When you start watching motivational videos, it's pretty important for you to figure out whether you like motivational videos where people basically scream at you, or more on the opposite side of the spectrum with a bit more calm and easy and just a calmer atmosphere. For me personally, I like it when it's way more up-tempo and basically when they're screaming at me, because that's what motivates me. But that's different for everyone, so that's something I would definitely suggest to figure out for yourself. If you do like the more people screaming at you side of studying, I would advise you to watch Ben, Leon, or Scott. It's not specifically for studying, but I find that when I watch his videos I can apply it for anything. And one that is more study specific is Project Elon. The tone is a bit more harsh, but it's way more laid back already than Ben, Leon, or Scott. So I would basically advise anyone to give that a shot, whether you like the more calm or the more up-tempo side of motivational videos. I think Project Elon is something that a lot of people could appreciate, so I would advise you to try it out. As weird as it may sound to some of you, bad grades is the next thing on my list that gives me crazy study motivation. I don't know about you, but whenever I do get a bad grade, it motivates me like crazy to start working harder and crush my next test to prove to myself that I can do it, and also prove to my teacher that I can do way better than that bad grade. So yeah, not really much else to say about that. It just really helps me. The third thing is actually a lot of deadlines, and while yes, a lot of deadlines can give me a lot of stress, it also helps me work way harder and more productively. That's both because of a principle called Parkinsons Law, and because then I waste less time on social media. Parkinson's Law basically means that the amount of time that we have to complete something is the amount of time we'll take to complete something. For example, if you have a deadline in 2 weeks, let's say in the perfect scenario you start on day 1, even if you start on day 1, you will complete it by day 14. While if you have a deadline of 2 days or even 1 day, you'll complete it in a few hours. In the weeks where I'm really busy and have a lot of deadlines, that basically means that I finish everything way quicker than I usually would, and that just saves a lot of time, so therefore it motivates me because I just know that I have to do it and I have to do it quickly. The fourth thing is something that I only discovered recently, and that is study with me videos. I always thought that those type of videos were a bit of a scam, because you should just motivate yourself. Why the hell would watching someone studying help with that? But I have come to reconsider that idea, because I have noticed that when I put on a study with me video, it does actually help me with my motivation, because it kind of feels like you have an accountability partner, even though that person doesn't even know it. And I specifically like study with me videos that have timers, because then you don't have to think about anything yourself. You take breaks when the people in the video do, and you work when the people in the video do. So that way all of the choices are kind of out of your hand, and you won't experience any decision fatigue, and it makes it easier to just get started. Some final thoughts. Even though I just said at the beginning of this video that sometimes it can be good to use extrinsic motivation, I do still think that you need to practice intrinsic motivation, so motivation that comes from within, and practice self-discipline. So even if you don't want to study, to just do it, because by just doing it, in my opinion, you will sort of just build up the habit of studying despite how you're feeling about it, and I think that that is really beneficial. And maybe a bit counterintuitive, but I do also think that it's really important to just relax sometimes. Life isn't all about studying. You also need time to just be you and do the things that you want to do with the people that you want to do it with, which obviously would be a bit easier without this whole virus thing going around. But yeah, that's really important in my opinion. Just keep taking your time to chill and relax for a bit. don't always study. In addition to that, I think sleeping enough is very important, and I know that this is a bit of a cliche thing, but it has been proven time and time again that sleeping enough is very important, and that if you don't sleep enough, things like memory retention start to decay. So if you study more and more hours and sleep less and less hours, that studying becomes less and less effective, and it will just influence your mood, probably negatively. And yeah, it's just not really good for us. So I would suggest to always try to keep sleeping between 7 and 8 hours, maybe 9 if that's what you need, but at least 7 hours. Then another cliche thing is try to spend less time on your phone. I always thought that I spent basically my day at school, and then when I came home from school, it was still school, and more school. But I've come to realize that from those hours spent on school, how many hours or minutes did I actually spend focusing on school without any other distractions? And I've come to realize that that by far isn't as much time as I always thought it was. So yeah, putting away your phone can be a very, very easy way to get more hours back into your day. One thing that helps me with spending less time on my phone is deleting social media apps and then reinstalling them if I want to use them. That way you make the bad habit of going on social media harder to do, because it requires more steps to actually do that behavior, and therefore you will be more likely to get started with a good habit because it's just easier. If, for example, your study books are right beside you and your phone is as well, but you first need to reinstall all the apps, and usually then you also have to log in again, and if you're anything like me, you will have to click on forgot password, reset your password and all of that. Then it will be way less tempting to just check social media for 5 minutes, because let's be honest, it usually doesn't stay with 5 minutes. I hope you got some valuable information out of this, and I hope to see you again in next week's video.